Namaste, everyone. A very warm welcome to our Honorable Principal, Bhavan Vidyalaya, Ms. Gulshan Kaur, our esteemed panelist, our Vice Principal, Mrs. Sonia Pabi, our Headmistress, Ms. Anita Ranjan, and our dear parents for today's insightful webinar on diet and nutrition. At the outset, I'd like to express my sincerest appreciation to our respected principal, Mrs. Gulshan Kaur, for graciously supporting and encouraging us to organize this webinar. Your vision to promote knowledge and well-being among our students has been a driving force behind this initiative. Your unwavering commitment to education and holistic growth has inspired us all. I'm honored to be your moderator for this engaging session, and it is my pleasure to introduce our distinguished guest speaker for today's event. In a world where our lifestyle choices heavily influence our overall well being, it becomes imperative to have a deep understanding of the impact of diet and nutrition on our health. And who better can be able to guide us through this crucial journey than a seasoned expert in the field? So, ladies and gentlemen, we have with us Dr. Virendra Kaur, an eminent and highly accomplished specialist in dietetics and nutrition. With an impressive background and a wealth of experience, Dr. Virendra Kaur has been at the forefront of promoting healthy lifestyle and empowering individuals to make informed choices when it comes to their dietary habits. Dr. Virendra Kaur is a nutritionist, a pharmacologist, weight and disease management expert, MD Dietary India. She is a passionate food coach, a social worker, and is running successfully her online consultancy brand, Dietary India and Clinic. She provides personalized metabolic diet plans and supplement consultation. Being a medicine expert, her prime focus is on food to drug and body interaction, which are very effective without any type of starvation and portion control. She's also an expert in dealing hormonal problems, lifestyle diseases like hypertension, diabetes, hypothyroid, PCOD, cancer, infertility, acidity, depression, ulcers, immunity diseases, liver diseases. Well, the list goes on. With over 10 years of valuable experience in clinical diets for diseases, weight management, and nutrition, her vision is to make the nation healthy and independent. Her dedication towards her career to unravel the complexities of diet and nutrition and translate scientific knowledge into practical, actionable advice has benefited individuals from all walks of life. She has delivered enlightening talks on the subject that has earned her respect and admiration from her peers in the medical community as well. During today's webinar, Dr. Virendra Kaur will delve into the latest development in diet and nutrition and provide practical insight to help us foster healthier eating habits in our students. She will explore the role of nutrition in preventing various health conditions, maintaining a balanced weight, boosting overall energy and vitality of our Bhavanites. As we listen to Dr. Virendra Kaur's expertise, I encourage all of you to actively participate by writing down your questions and mailing them on the ID mentioned in the circular. I'm sure we will make the most of this unique opportunity to learn from one of the leading minds in the realm of diet and nutrition. Before we begin, I want to express our deepest gratitude to Dr. Virendra Kaur for graciously accepting our invitation to be a part of this webinar. So without further ado, let's embark on this enlightening journey of discovering the power of proper nutrition with Dr. Virendra Kaur. Please join me in giving a warm virtual welcome to our esteemed speaker. Thank you all for being here. The floor is now yours, Dr. Virendra Kaur.
Thank you so much. Such a warm and appreciative welcome, ma'am. I really, I'm really thankful for inviting me for a live section uh, over the nutrition and the diet for the kids. I really appreciate your concern for the students. So we have already given the talk on this topic in the school, but this one is special for parents. So I would like to thank you all the staff efforts that. You are putting so much efforts to get maximum benefits of a dietitian to your students through the webinars, through some kind of lectures in your school. So we will keep it a very interactive session. Initially I'll just teach you about the mindful eating, and after that, in second part, we will have a qa session. So I would like to ask all the parents, if anyone have joined, and to the teachers if they have any query related to the diet plan, about the nutrition, or any kind of questions you have. So we will discuss that today we are going to present mindful eating in the kids and how we can introduce the right pattern of eating in the kids. Can you see that?
Yes,
Is
ma'am.
my screen visible?
Yes, ma'am.
So, this is the main topic, nutrition kids. Well, it's very important to give right nutrition to the kids. And before we talk about eating mindfully, we need to know to feed our mind so that it can work mindfully. So, if you don't feed your brain properly, it will not eat mindfully. Food affects its structure, function of the brain and hormones and the mental health. We need to work on the relationship with the food. Our relationship with the food decides your health status, your mental well-being. About 7 to 10% of people are affected by overeating or eating disorders because they lack nutrition and they end up eating extra. It is found that healthy diet pattern reduce cases of depression and anxiety and also causes early puberty, dementia, Alzheimer disease and lifestyle disorder in the kids. And now, as we are talking about the kids, so the main concern would be the puberty, the early puberty in the kids. Many parents complain me like their daughters are getting early periods, and their, the boy kids, they are having earlier sexual desires, and they have developed, the breast enlargement, breast tissue so early. Like usually we consider puberty 10 to 14, but now the girls are getting periods at the age of 5, 6 or 7, and the boys, they have enlarged breast and their genitalia at the very early age. So this is kind of a nutrition lack or many other factors which are affecting the early puberty. So what are the reason for the early puberty in kids? One, the most the important cause, and it's very much contributing to the early puberty, is obesity. The kids who are obese may end up getting the early periods in case of the female, and they start getting the pubertic symptoms at a very early age if they are obese, because they get very much hormonal imbalance. Then exposure to the blue light in the kids is very much high these days due to the digital exposure. They get online classes too, and also they get exposed to the phone for watching videos and YouTube content. So this is also affecting the hormones of the kids, and they get exposed to some hilarious and very dangerous hormones. The insufficient nutrition is another cause. Poor exposure to the cosmic energy. When we talk about cosmic energy, that means the energy of the universe. We don't expose our kids to the sunlight, we don't expose them to the moonlight. Like we were used to sit in the sunshine and moonshine during our childhood, and we never faced such problems. But now every other kid is suffering from some certain, the behavior issue, certain puberty issue, or the menstrual issue in the girls. So we need to expose our kids to the cosmic energy, like into the sunlight, into the moonlight. So expose them, make them, encourage them to go out for play in the sunshine. Stress and exposure to the toxic and abusive home environment. We all are working parents, and sometimes too much of pressure make us to be toxic at the home. So it is very important to balance your stress and to balance your home and work life, so that it doesn't impact your kids. So sometimes it's abusive home environment can also put a kid into the stress, and they end up getting so many hormonal issues and the mental issues. Being exposed to the chemical in the cosmetics, these days we have introduced our kids, we have exposed them to so many chemicals, like in the form of perfumes, lotions, and creams. So when we were kids, we our parents never allowed us to use any cream or cosmetics. They often, used to scold us like, it's not for you. But now kids are doing makeup, and they are doing so many hair treatments, they are exposed to so many chemicals at such an early age. And these chemicals, they have certain estrogen kind of chemicals, and it impact their hormone growth. Use of plastic has increased in past 30 years. We are using plastic like nobody's business. So we give them plastic tiffins, we give them plastic bottles, and they sip water from those bottles. The plastic bottles, they have phytoestrogen, and once water come in contact with them, so it releases a hormone which has very similar structure to the sexual hormones in the kids. So it can expose them to the early puberty and so many other problems, hormonal problems, poor nutrition, and poor absorption of calcium, vitamins, and minerals. So we need to consider all these things. So before we move next, as I told you, we need to know what a mind is composed of. Mind kya hai? What is mind? It is brain, right? So brain is composed of what? It is a very highly, it's a very highly metabolic organ. Brain has 75% of water in it, and rest 25% has fat or certain minerals. A dehydrated brain consists of 65 to 70% of fat, and rest minerals are protein, amino acid, minerals, vitamins, and glucose. So here we get the hook. First, the 75%, it has water, right? So we need to introduce water as a first meal in kids' diet. So early in the morning, once they wake up, make sure that you feed at least 1 to 2 glass of water, and if not that much, at least 100 ml of water. So 80% of the kids, as I have found in surveys, they don't drink water. They just start their day with milk or anything edible. So always give your kids 1 glass of water early in the morning, then start their day. It give, the first energy to your brain. It give them the energy spikes. The second thing you can give to your kid is fat, good fat. So good fats are in nuts. Usually we give soaked walnut and almonds. So walnut also have a structure like human brain, because if we see, God or nature is very conservative. He has given us a sign that this food is good for what? Like almonds are good for eyes. It has eye-like structure. And the walnut is good for brain. So give them almonds or walnut early in the morning. And if they don't have it, give it homemade prash or kishmish. Kids like kishmish too much. So you can give soaked kishmish as well. You can give, figs or anjeer. And Then come other food groups like protein, amino acids, mineral, vitamin, and glucose. So morning आपको यहीं से start करना है. So be sure about that. Now you know that you have fed your brain properly. Now it will
Dear parents, I believe there's a technical glitch that Dr. Virendra Kaur is experiencing right now. In the meantime, yes, as we can see it on the screen, it's quite evident that diet and nutrition are very important for each one of us, and especially when it comes to our little children. It becomes mandatory to understand that what is good for them and what is not. To share an anecdote, I had a lot of parents coming in telling me, "Ma'am, this child brings in pasta and I don't know what to do." So my child also keeps pestering me and telling me that even I want to get pasta for tiffins and I want to bring it to school. So here, this webinar was basically aimed to tell you that you have to instill those values and those those virtues in children where they understand the difference between the right and the wrong. So that's very important. The children understand that this is good food and this is nutrition. And I believe our panelists on the board will agree with this, that when it came to our children, even we made decisions in wherein we thought what food item to be given to them. And even I feel my mother-in-law used to guide me and she used to tell me, you need to take all those vegetables and cut them into cubes and serve it to the child. And they work as wonderful teethers. So, and you can also keep them frozen as well. So even the teething troubles get managed. So there are a lot of these home remedies that we have. And you'll be delighted, dear parents, that by the end of this webinar, we will also be sharing a PDF wherein a diet plan, which has been customized for children from the age group of 4 to 12, will be shared with each one of you. So you will get a personalized, customized diet plan, which will tell you that how much of food intake and calorie intake for your little ones should be taken in. In the meantime, I'd request my dear IT team to take over and verify if the network is back so that we can resume. And we have our Vice Principal ma'am with us. I would request her to share a few insights on what she feels about diet and nutrition in her life.
Thank you, Mrs. Radhika. Namaste, my dear parents. Even like my kids are grown up, but still, I'm feeling that this webinar is quite useful because one thing I have realized that whether it is your dietary things or medicine or whatever, things taken in the right manner and at the right time makes a difference. Like, I'll just share something with you. A medicine which I was continuously taking for a particular reason was not resulting, and once I consulted another doctor. When I consulted another doctor, took a second follow up, the doctor recommended and doctor advised me to change the pattern, and I got the results. Similarly, our Dr. Virender also has told us that nuts right in the morning after water will give an impact to our mental health, because she said if you have a healthy mind, then only we can eat mindfully, right? So mindfulness and mindfully eating both are complementing each other, and this will happen only once each one of us realize what is the right time and for what. Like, nuts cannot be taken as, like, you can say, for any time during the day. If you are feeling having something or munching something, so you have the nuts. Okay, that is a good fat food, but it will not give its full impact to your body. And very rightly said by Dr. Varinder that generally these days also 80% of moms are starting the day of their kids. Even we used to, and rather I was feeling few minutes ago that I had never a chance of attending such webinar or such guidance when my kids were young. So the day should be, we all think as moms that the day should start with milk, a good thing. But definitely the day should start with water. So, a very good thing and very valuable thing we have come to know, although many of us must be following. So, that is the importance of this webinar, that it's an eye opener at any age. Attending such things will definitely help you out. If not for your kids, if few moms, like if this particular session is for the moms of kids of a particular age, as we have shared the link, or it's going online also. So if our kids are beyond that age, maybe these things will help us when we will become grandmothers. What do you say, Mrs. Radhika?
Definitely. I think because it's a learning and it is something which is about maintaining good health. Because ultimately, you can work better, your potentials are higher only if you have a healthy body. So they
Yes.
say a healthy mind resides in a healthy body. So you have to have health first. And so our children, I have noticed, have been falling sick quite often. And whenever there's a change of season, I have been noticing that there is a drop in attendance of nearly 10 to 20 children per class, and then gradually they come back. So that shows that the immunity levels, ma'am, are very low. So somewhere the junk food that we have in our diet, the inclination to go towards pizza, pasta, burgers is too high. So we have to restrict that and bring them back to the cultural values that we used to actually follow throughout our lives. Be it now, of course, now it's a save soil and save water and no wheat diet also coming up. So people are also switching over to millets.
Yeah, but
And
few, very rightly said by you, Radhika ma'am, that you said no wheat. But recently, like we are hearing this other way also, that add chapati to your diet. These youngsters, they are after protein diets, after millets. But recently, of late, we are hearing this also, add chapati. So this was also one of my major concern that I wanted to have with doctor. But probably this technical glitch is taking a lot of time. So, anyone from the tech team?
Still trying, ma'am.
So, technology has its own plus and minus, you know.
and minuses. I believe so. To every side,
Yeah.
there are two coins, and now we have other panelist also with us. That is
Headmistress.
our headmistress, ma'am, Ms. Anita Ranjan. So, ma'am, in the meantime that they are fixing up the technical glitches, let us, the panelists, have a little discussion on diet and nutrition. And what is your take on the little ones consuming junk food and how their diet should be? So, can I have a word from you, please?
Namaste, all parents, and namaste, everyone. It has been indeed a very heart warming situation where the parents are getting a chance to understand directly from the doctor what diet and how to give the diet to their children. But yes, we as young mothers, when we were young mothers, of course, we used to find, we used to reinvent and create the food which we wanted our children to eat, especially the healthy ones. So all the vegetables used to go in the dough, and we used to make paranthas out of it, cut it into different shapes. And that's what I have learned over the years, that it is always better to give your child the uh, healthy food in any form, whichever you find your child is comfortable eating in. And with my son, I remember almost 20 to 23 years back, he was a very poor eater. But then I used to create finger foods from there for him, and he started eating. And that's how I realized that you have to reinvent and recreate the food, make it look very attractive for the children, so that they get allured. Even the look of the tiffin should be, or the meal should be so attractive. These little ones, they are bundle of joys, and they'll get attracted to shapes, colors. So we should add maximum color to the tiffin or the meals we are providing our children. So yes, once you try out all the colors the name Mother Nature has given us, it would automatically make your child eat. And avoid giving junk food as much as you can, because it's in any case never ever healthy. We do love our tongue gives us that catch on it, but it's not good. End of the day, we all know that it's not good for even us, but then we'll end up eating it. because it has some kind of element. I don't know, maybe the doctor would tell us what is it that it makes us so much into eating that kind of food. But then yes, it is definitely not healthy. Once in a while you can have, uh, pizza party once in a month, maybe twice, once in 2 months. That's what at least you're looking forward to, have a pizza party at home, and it should not be everyday business. So it's in our own hand as parents. It's absolutely in our own hands how to treat and how to give it across to our children. So, dear mothers, be creative, become the master chefs for your child, and you can definitely ensure that your child don't give in the way. I mean, like, we as parents should not give in that my child doesn't eat. It is for us to decide what he or she would eat right from the time when he or she starts eating. So we must ensure that we give the right thing to our children. But at the same time, and when we talk about food, it is also the thoughts, the environment which we must give. The positive thoughts, positive environment. Always send positive blessings to your children, and I'm sure they will flourish like beautiful blooming flowers, and they will spread that aura and that smell across, that fragrance across by shining. So that's from my side, of course. We've also invented and we've also experimented a lot when we were young mothers. But yes, over the years, I think we've learned and we can share our expertise now.
Very
Over to
rightly
you,
said,
Radhika
Anita
ma'am.
ma'am. Very rightly said. I would second your word that when you said add colors. You know, adding colors to the diet means giving each and every fruit and vegetable to the child. Make it a point that every day the child's diet is having at least 4 to 5 colors. While thinking this, mothers, you will automatically become creative because you know I have to add yellow color. What yellow thing I can give to my child? So adding colors also is taking away so many problems these days. This is again saying by the doctor only that add colors to the diet of your child and even for people at our age also. So it takes away so many things. And make sure that till the time your child is engaged in higher studies, till the time he gets busy with the competition going around, till that age, make sure that every year you are making your child join one or the other outside activity. So, outdoor activity, as the doctor also said, give them exposure to sunlight, moonlight. So, make them join an outdoor activity. Every year change the activity. Like if one year the child has learned skating, the next year you put him for lawn tennis, the next year you put him for yoga. And whatever sport or activity the child is good at, continue with that so that he excels in that activity and earns certificates at various levels. And the activities, and it's not essential that your child has to be expert in at least one activity. No, the child can learn all these activities till the age when he or she becomes, I mean, that becomes imperative and mandatory for that child to now, at the age of, say, a child reaches class 10th, 11th, 12th, he has to compete with the world. He has to compete with the system. He has to take a seat in his further colleges. But till that time, you, as a parent, make it a point that the child spends at least 1 to 2 hours in the evening for these outdoor activities. That also is going to help us a lot, I would say. What do you say, Radhika ma'am?
Right, ma'am. I was actually on a roller coaster ride trying to get back our expert with us. So
Yeah.
I'm happy and delighted and elated to have you back, Dr. Virendra. So,
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't knew that I quit the video and I'm not live.
oh, so we lost you for, I believe, the last 10 minutes. And yes, our
Okay.
panelists were very active and they had
Okay.
shared their own anecdotes and their own diet expertise, what they follow.
Oh, that's
And
great.
there, so because we wanted to keep the show alive, and we are happy
Okay.
to have you back. So, over to you.
Yeah, so we talked about the brain. Like, if we don't eat mindfully, if we don't feed our brain mindfully, it will not eat mindfully too. So, brain ka composition kya hai? It has 75% of water. So, here we get the one hook, like it should get water first thing as a morning. तो ये हमारा tradition भी है that we grab a glass of water, the warm water early in the morning. हमारे parents, हमारे grandparents ये practice करते हैं. So, first thing is water that we need to feed to the brain for a better functioning. Second, as we see, dehydrated brain consists of 60 to 70% of fat. So another hook is fat is important food for the brain again. Protein, amino acid, mineral and vitamins are the another. Yeah, so we talked about the brain. Like if we don't eat mindfully, if we don't feed our brain mindfully, if we not eat mindfully, quality. So brain का composition fuel देंगे उतनी ही high performance होएगी. So the brain need constant supply of the fuel. आप सो भी जाते हैं, even then the brain works well. Am I audible? Okay, fine. So let's go to the next slide. Food pillow, empty stomach. So we have already have natural resources. Dokla हमारे जो हैं, they're very rich in brands. Antibiotics, probiotics. You need that Yakult, that which is very sure high content of. It produces new toxins. If you are gaining weight, so तो नहीं है आपका बैक्टीरिया ब्रेन को सिग्नल दे भी रहा है या नहीं अबाउट डाइजेशन. अगर आप कॉन्स्टिपेटेड है, even then you need to have good bacteria through prebiotics and probiotics.
All right, I guess again we are facing the technical glitch, so let me take over from here. I guess what Dr. Virendra is facing some problems regarding her networks, but what we can see from the slides is quite evident. She's talking about pre and probiotic sources. She's talking about what are the various sources that we have available. I'm sure all of you, while your children might be unwell, the doctors have always given us those small little sachets that we follow, right? Basically, they are full of enzymes and they help in improving our gut health. So here we have curd and the khichdi, the fermented, all these things which she's talking about is which are going to bring about a streamline our process of digestion. So that is what she's talking about here in the slide, that how food affects your mood. So the gut bacteria, it builds a connection between your brain and the gut. It's obvious when we are not feeling very healthy, we have problems. We do have mood swings. We do not like to attend, various events. We do not like to go for it. So anyway, we have our expert back. So I thought to give my piece of advice.
Okay.
I believe you have a network issue, Dr. Virendra. I would
I
request.
think it is there today.
Yeah, so you could switch off your camera, and I'd request everyone to switch off the camera so that the bandwidth can be maintained at a lower bandwidth, and it is easy for everyone to see. Is the yes? Can I hear you, please?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
So I hope it works now.
I hope that.
So there was we were talking about the gut connection, like आपके gut से signal जाता है to the brain for better absorption. If you don't have prebiotics and probiotics in your diet, तो आपकी body correct उसको connection build नहीं कर पाती है with the brain. You will feel constipated. You may get food and hunger cravings या आपको food cravings, sweet cravings होती रहेंगी. So अगर ऐसा कुछ है, introduce certain good bacteria and good prebiotics, probiotics food in your diet. Another thing, vitamin D3, जिसका हमने pre-puberty में भी reason बताया था, like why kids are getting pre-puberty, early puberty, because they lack vitamin D3. Their body is not able to absorb vitamin D3 because we don't expose them to the cosmic energy. We don't expose them to the moon, stars, sun. So we don't encourage them to go outside. So vitamin D has different sources. One is desi ghee, because animals, they get it from the plants and they then excrete into the milk. And so ghee has high content of vitamin D. Also fat जो घी में होता है वो help करता है vitamin D की absorption में. Then moonlight में बैठना, stars के अंदर बैठना also help you to absorb better vitamin D and calcium. It's very good for your bone. And the girls and women जिनको भी early puberty हुआ है या फिर women में जिनको hormonal imbalance है, they should sit into the full moon and also should take the moon charged water. So जिन बच्चियों में जो 7-8 years की हैं, अगर आपको लगता है they get early puberty या फिर एक बार periods आके बंद हो गए हैं, तो उनको moon charged water आपको देना चाहिए. You can place a glass of water या glass bottle में पानी add करके you can put it in the moonshine या sunshine, तो वो water आपको बच्चों को early morning पिलाना है. Other source of vitamin D is fatty fish. So if you are non-vegetarian, you can have fatty fish, salmon fish, and basa. And if you don't eat fish, you can go with the fish capsule and the fish oils, omega-3 fatty acids. Egg yolk has vitamin D, so never remove the egg yolk, that sac, from your eggs while eating boiled eggs or omelets. Mushrooms are the cheapest superfood, especially for this season. For the season of rain, it's the best food. It is very rich in zinc, minerals, B vitamins. So in any kind of all the nutrition is present in the mushrooms. So feed your kids mushroom in type of mushroom tikka. अगर उनको ऐसे direct सब्जी पसंद नहीं है, so coat it with besan and mushroom पकौड़ा या बेसन पकौड़ा बना के इसका दे सकते हैं. You can also feed them mushroom tikka या cigar rolls you can make. Soups में mushroom add किए जा सकते हैं. So adults तो इसको खा सकते हैं because it's a very good replacement for the non-vegetarian. It has quality protein. Milk products आप अपनी diet में include कर सकते हैं. All the dairy products, it has vitamin D, and if you're vegan, then you can go for another sources of the vitamin D. Also, if you lack vitamin D, you will end up gaining weight. Vitamin D help you because ये vitamin D जो है fat soluble vitamin है. And अगर आपकी body में vitamin D की lacking है, आपकी body weight store करना शुरू कर देती है. So here is everybody's favorite topic, why we gain weight. अभी we are currently talking about obesity in the kids, but बड़ों में भी obesity होता है in adults too. So इसका reason क्या है? Kids may be and adults may be. Skipping meal. When we skip on our meal, we end up eating extra during our lunch, and especially the breakfast, जो teachers हमेशा miss करते हैं. So even kids, they run to the schools without eating anything. So skipping meal can put your kids on the risk of getting obesity, overweight, grade 1, grade 2 obesity, or storing fat in their stomach. So first meal जो आपका morning है, एक कभी skip नहीं होना चाहिए. Even if you are on dieting, you should control the portion but never skip it. Second thing that you need to control is stress. Stress hormone, when your stress gland is active, it gives signals to the hunger hormones, ghrelin and leptin, by which you will eat extra in the stress hours. For instant gratification, you keep eating extra and your input of the calories increase as compared to the output, and it make you gain extra pounds. The third point is bad sleep. If you are not able to sleep in time, like after 10:30, not sleeping, you are awake, then it might sabotage all the efforts of losing weight. So sleep in time so that you get break from the stress stimuli in the night. That comes around 11 to 12. अगर आप 11 से 12 के बीच में सो नहीं रहे हैं, तो आपको इस ब्रेन के जो स्ट्रेस रिस्पॉन्स से ब्रेक मिलता है, you will miss that. The fourth is maintaining good relation with the food. We don't have good relation these days. लाइक अ पेरेंट्स, उनका टाइम फिक्स था, इस टाइम खाना है ब्रेकफास्ट, लंच, डिनर। डिनर शुड बी अर्ली लाइक 7:38, एंड उसके बाद अगर बहुत लेट हो गया, दे वर यूज्ड टू स्किप मील कि नहीं अब तो बहुत लेट हो गया, वी विल नॉट ईट। Just like we urinate before going to movies and any public area या फिर wedding के से जाने से पहले हम यूरिनेट करते हैं, वॉशरूम जाते हैं, थोड़ा सा पानी पीते हैं, बिकॉज वी आर अफ्रेड कि टॉयलेट्स गंदी होंगी, पब्लिक टॉयलेट्स, या वहां ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा, सो वी आर सो मच वरीड अबाउट यूरिनेटिंग एंड नॉट द ईटिंग। हम अपना खाना स्किप करके चले जाते हैं, लाइक वी विल ईट इन द मॉल। फूड भी बहुत अच्छा नहीं है, वी डोंट गेट गुड फूड in the malls, in the weddings, but still, because we have bad relationship with the food, we skip a meal and we go there. जाना है but at least eat your meal on time. Suppose कोई wedding या कोई program आपका lunch के round है, but उसके वेट में अगर 4 बजे आपको जाना है तो आप अपना लंच स्किप ना करें, जस्ट इन केस आप ये सोच रहे हैं कि वहां खाना ही है, वी विल ईट सम टेस्टी फूड, आप वहां पे भी खाएं, रैलिश ऑन योर फूड, बट आप घर पे स्किप करके नहीं जाएंगे उसको। बॉडी को वहां से सिग्नल मिल चुका है, इट्स टाइम टू ईट, आपने वो स्किप कर दिया, फैट स्टोरेज विल स्टार्ट। सो व्हेनेवर यू गो टू द पार्टी, हैव हेल्दी मील एट योर होम। ये सैलेड भी हो सकता है, इफ यू डोंट वांट टू ईट एक्स्ट्रा और एनीथिंग हैवी, सो नॉट योर मेन कोर्स, तो सैलेड खा के जाएं एक प्लेट। द लैक ऑफ फिजिकल एक्टिविटी, it's a mother of all the reasons of weight gain. So physical activity is important because it's important just not to lose weight. Workout is important because workout is important. So any kind of workout, वो walking हो सकता है, cycling हो सकता है, swimming हो सकता है, and especially for kids, swimming is the best exercise जो आपका motor neuron control develop करता है बच्चों में. So it's very important. Taking empty calories, ये जो teachers especially they take too much empty calories through the tea and through the sweets. So stop taking empty calories. Even the housewives and mothers, they take 4 to 5 cup of tea a day. So these are empty calories. इससे कोई nutrition आपको नहीं आ रहा है, बल्कि चाय and coffee आपको अंदर से dehydrate कर रही है. So अगर आपको लेना है कैफीन के कुछ जो benefits हैं, वो इस तरह से नहीं होते, like you make it काढ़ा टाइप चाय, सो आप उसको सेपरेट टी बना के ले सकते हैं, यू कैन बॉयल टी सेपरेटली एंड बॉयल योर मिल्क सेपरेटली एंड देन मिक्स देम। सो इससे आपको थोड़ा सा न्यूट्रिशन वैल्यू जो टी के एंटी एजिंग इफेक्ट्स होते हैं वो आपको मिल सकते हैं, अदरवाइज इट विल बूस्ट द एजिंग। इसको टॉक्सिक बना के नहीं पीना आपको, इसको बहुत ज्यादा चला के या जला के आपको चाय को नहीं पीना है। And same is the case with coffee. If you want to take benefit of coffee, take it once in a day, and better if you take it as a black coffee instead of taking with milk when you are on weight loss. If you're not on weight loss, then you can have your coffee as normal as you can. So that's all. These are the reasons that we end up gaining weight. Now, बहुत से पेरेंट्स का कंप्लेन है लाइक दे आर नॉट एबल टू फोकस, पढ़ाई में फोकस नहीं है, उनमें सिम्टम ऐसे हैं लाइक ओवर एक्टिव, दे डोंट हैव फोकस, उनमें दे डोंट सिट टू रीड। सो वजह क्या है? पुअर मेंटल हेल्थ का, इन्फ्लामेटरी फूड, किड्स आर नॉट एबल टू फोकस because they are eating refined carbs like donut, pizza, buns, refined sugar, cakes, frosting. अब तो ये रेगुलर हो गया है, लाइक इन अ टाइम हमारे पेरेंट्स सीजनल देते थे, लाइक मिठाई रसगुल्ले ऑन दिवाली, चिक्की एंड रेवड़ी ऑन लोहड़ी, एंड इन बिटवीन फ्यू कैंडीज। लेकिन आज के बच्चों के पास इतनी अवेलेबिलिटी है, दे हैव एवरीथिंग इन स्टॉक, इवन पेरेंट्स आर ऑब्सेस्ड, दे स्टॉक chips, Maggie, candies at their home. बाहर जाने की जरूरत नहीं है, आइसक्रीम इज ऑलवेज अवेलेबल पोस्ट डिनर, हर रोज आइसक्रीम खाते हैं, कैंडीज आर नॉर्मल, कुकीज आर नॉर्मल, कुकीज आर देयर मेन मील, लाइक वो एक मील स्किप करके कुकीज लेते हैं दूध के साथ। सो इतना शुगर, इतना रिफाइंड कार्ब्स बच्चे को क्या करता है, अगेन इंस्टेंट एनर्जी देता है, इतनी एनर्जी जो बॉडी जिसके लिए रेडी भी नहीं होती है, ब्रेन इज नॉट रेडी फॉर दैट। रिफाइंड कार्ब्स के थ्रू जो एनर्जी जाती है, सो इससे वो क्या हो जाते हैं, उनमें लैक ऑफ फोकस डेवलप होता है, एग्रेशन डेवलप होता है, बात बात पे गुस्सा। आर्टिफिशियल फ्लेवर, चिप्स, आइसक्रीम, इनमें इतने फ्लेवर्स होते हैं, उनके हार्मोन्स इंपैक्ट होते हैं, दे एक्ट लाइक एडल्ट्स। सैचुरेटेड फैट्स, फ्राइड स्नैक्स, मीट्स, ये सारी चीजें उनको हार्मोन्स को इम्बैलेंस करती है। पैक्ड फूड, रेडी टू ईट मील, हाई अल्कोहल कंजप्शन, इट्स इन द एडल्ट्स। सो दीज काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स, ये सारी हैं जो मेंटल हेल्थ को इफेक्ट करती हैं। एंड सर्टेन फ्लेवरिंग एजेंट्स, केमिकल्स, ये सारे जो केमिकल्स, प्रोपाइल गैलेट, फॉस्फेट एडिटिव्स, ये चिप्स एंड कुरकुरे में बहुत होते हैं। जो आपकी नेचुरल फ्रूट बियर्स हैं या फिर कैशेस, बच्चों के लिए जो हमारे फ्रूट ड्रिंक्स हैं, उनमें बहुत ज्यादा कैल्शियम सल्फेट, प्रोपाइलिन ग्लाइकोल, एस्टर्स होते हैं, फ्लेवर्स होते हैं, ये रियल फ्रूट्स नहीं होते हैं, तो इट इम्पैक्ट देयर ब्रेन हेल्थ। सो जस्ट इमेजिन, आई ऑल्सो गिव एग्जाम्पल अर्लियर एज वेल, कि हमारे जो डोमेस्टिक हेल्प किड्स, they don't fell ill as much as our kids। आजकल जुकाम, साइनस, मतलब हुआ ही रहता है सारे बच्चों को, इट्स वेरी कॉमन। वी वर यूज्ड टू हैव इट रेयरली इन आवर चाइल्डहुड, लेकिन अभी तो गर्मी में भी जुकाम है बच्चों को, गर्मी में भी बुखार है, गला खराब है सबका, बिकॉज ये चीजें इतनी एक्सेस में अवेलेबल हैं। सो अगर आप अच्छा नहीं खा सकते, एटलीस्ट बुरा नहीं खाना है। ये आपके जो मेड के बच्चों से आप एग्जांपल ले सकते हैं, डोंट गेट क्वालिटी मील, बट ऑल्सो they don't even eat bad foods like so much of snacks, so they have better immune system than us. They eat rice 3 times a day but they never get fat because their body is still functioning. So इसका मतलब क्या है कि राइस से मोटे नहीं होते हैं, ना ही wheat से मोटे होते हैं। So we get fat and we get inflammatory disorders through the outside meal, which is refined carbs. So here is a sample diet plan for adults, like for parents, and we will also share the diet plan for kids. So early morning, start your day with the water, soak nuts, any fresh fruit and seasonal fruit. Then in the mid-morning, take salad, fruit. In evening, you can have homemade chickpeas, pinni, laddu और snacking. आपको मिस नहीं करना, अपने ट्रेडिशन से जुड़े रहना है। ऐसा नहीं है कि चाय के साथ you cannot have anything, but have something homemade. बेसन का लड्डू, चने का लड्डू, बच्चों को भी स्नैकिंग में हमने ऐड किया in that case. And in the breakfast, you can have egg omelette, roti, veg stuffed prantha, roti, veg poha, veg upma, sprouts, idlis, roti, seasonal sabji, paneer sandwiches. And in lunch, you can have dal rice, rajma, chana rice, veg dal, roti, dosa, chila, utpam. जो भी आपके घर में मील है, जो भी आपके घर का ट्रेडिशन है, so you can also have, and you don't need to leave non-veggies to turn vegan. अगर आपकी family non-vegetarian है from generations to generations, then vegan thing will not work for you. And if your family is vegetarian, like आपके जो tradition में suppose आप इसी community को follow करते हैं या आप नहीं non-veg खाते and you are just starting because you have certainly या फिर अभी आपने जिम स्टार्ट कर दिया है, then आपको एग नहीं पचेंगे, you will end up having gut issues. So जो भी आपकी ट्रेडिशन में चलता है वैसा ही मील आपको फॉलो करना है until or unless there is a change in environment, like अगर आप कहीं शिफ्ट हो गए like into other country, तो उस टाइम पे अलग सिनेरियो है, otherwise you don't need to switch to any kind of terms like vegan, vegetarian, non-vegetarian. So जैसा चल रहा है वैसा ही चलाना चाहिए. In the dinner, you can have light meals like dal khichdi, dalia, millets, dal rice, seasonal sabji, roti, vegetable soup. So you can have anything in your dinner, but make sure you eat it earliest. आपको 7 बजे के बाद डिनर नहीं करना चाहिए. Like people who are above 30, they should not, if you are looking for a healthy weight maintenance. And अगर उसके बाद करते हैं तो आपकी बॉडी सारी रात फंक्शन में रहती है. Your brain has to work on digestion. हालांकि उसको उस टाइम पे रेस्ट चाहिए. So work on these things. Do early dinners. And after this, in summary, from this session, जितना भी हम सुन पाए, there was too much disturbance, but still I hope you have learned like precaution is better than cure. So that's what dietitian's motto is. So food is your first medicine. अगर आप खाना अच्छे से खा रहे हैं, you don't need anybody from extra. Like you have a doctor within you, which is immune system. It is more important not to eat wrong than eating right. So just give you example of the maids. The kids don't eat wrong food. So it's also important, make sure your kids don't eat, desserts or sweets on every day. At least once a week you can give them ice cream or candy or chocolate, but not every day. Don't give it as a reward. बच्चों को addiction हो जाता है. So your kitchen is your first pharmacy. So you have so many spices in your kitchen, and we know during COVID-19 what has helped us. Our own kitchen, like we were used to do oil pulling, ginger turmeric tea, and we had kahwa like nobody's business. So too much of ashwagandha. So these kind of things हमारे COVID-19 ने दोबारा reintroduce की हैं. Otherwise, we were totally into the allopathic medicines. So your kitchen is your first pharmacy. So eat properly and make preparations like हमारे families में जैसे कहवा बनता था या फिर दुशांदा for sinus and cold stuff. So वही चीजें आपको अपनी लाइफ में दोबारा इंट्रोड्यूस करनी है, even to the kids. अभी आजकल किड्स को क्या करते हैं, निबुलाइज करते हैं पेरेंट्स जस्ट फॉर लिटिल थिंग, थोड़े से कोल्ड कफ के लिए. सो उसकी जगह पे आप उनको जिंजर टर्मरिक टी फ्रॉम योर किचन एंड दुशांदा जो प्रेपरेशन देसी आती हैं, सो यू कैन feed them. You can give them homemade chawanprash like in the morning too. Milk, chawanprash and nuts you can give. So eat slowly, drink plenty of water and exercise to stay fit. तो आपको स्लोली च्यू करके खाना है. लाइक हमारे एक टर्म है कि 32 बार चबा के खाना है. दांतों का काम जो है आंतों से नहीं लेना है. सो मास्टिकेशन इज द वर्क ऑफ टीथ. तो उसको गट तक नहीं लेके जाना है, तभी आपको गट डिसऑर्डर इश्यूज होते हैं. अगर आप बहुत जल्दी में खा रहे हैं, टीवी के एक्सपोजर में खा रहे हैं, फोन देखते देखते बच्चों को फीड कर रहे हैं, उससे उनका हैंड ब्रेन एंड माउथ कनेक्शन डेवलप नहीं होता. सो वो जो भी खा रहे हैं उनका फुल फोकस उनके खाने पे होना चाहिए. सो डोंट इनकरेज योर किड्स टू ग्रैब फोन एंड देन ईट. नहीं खाते तो नहीं खाने दें, भूखे रहने दो. दे विल कम एंड आस्क फॉर द फूड. सो फोर्स फीड मत करें. दे नो दे हंगर, दे हैव वेरी लिटिल स्टमक. Don't force feed and don't give any exposure of media. So don't eat or let them eat in front of the TV. Next, fitness is a marathon and not a sprint. So have patience and keep going and keep working on your health and on your kids' health. So that's the end of the session. Now we will have interactions. If you have any questions, we will address. And this is my pages. If you want any additional information, you can follow my pages.
Thank you so much, Dr. Virendra, and it was actually a delight to go through the various informations that you have shared with us. It's really valuable to have them. I have a few mails which I would like to bring forward, and they would ask, actually, they would answer the queries of many parents. We have Anjali Soni, mother of Kavni Soni. She says this email is regarding a special webinar on diet and nutrition, which will be taken by Dr. Virendra Kaur today at 7. I would like to appreciate the effort of the school in conducting such a webinar for the benefit of parents. I would like her to kindly cover the topic of diet plan for underweight kids. That is one. And second is diet plan for kids with eyesight problem. She says the child has a cylindrical number and it's by birth. Can diet help in improving the same? So please suggest some good ways diet plan for this.
Okay. For the kids who are underweight, so we need to increase the calorie intake in them. सो उनका जो इनपुट है इट शुड बी मोर देन देयर आउटपुट. सो ये कैसे किया जा सकता है? वी कैन ऐड एडिशनल फूड इनटू देयर रेगुलर ब्रेकफास्ट, लंच एंड डिनर. सो लाइक with the breakfast you can prescribe few fruits which are like caramelized makhana या फिर banana या फिर dates additional to your regular meal. And in their curd you can add शक्कर, जो ब्राउन शुगर होता है, नेचुरल शुगर गेन का शुगर. सो इससे उनको प्रोबायोटिक्स मिलेंगे, उनका लिवर प्रॉपर फंक्शन करेगा. यूजली जो बच्चे अंडरवेट होते हैं दे हैव वीक लिवर. So weak liver के लिए we need to introduce prebiotics and probiotics in the kids diet. So वो कहाँ से आता है? कर्ड एंड शक्कर मिक्स करके उनको before lunch खिलाया जा सकता है. So this way it can work and add additional fat on the meals like ghee shakkar churma like we used to had halwas post your dinner and also apply ghee into their dalia या खिचड़ी या फिर दाल पे extra 2 spoon of ghee you can add. So वो धीरे धीरे they would have palatability to ghee if they don't like it. So add hidden calories like उनके आटे में घी को kneading करके they can add hidden calories because बच्चे as such अपना content नहीं बढ़ाएंगे. They won't increase the number of proteins to gain weight. So we need to work on their liver and we need to introduce good fats. You can also add nut mixture into their smoothies, shakes and milk. Nut powder into their roti, to their pranta, like aloo ka pranta hai. So you can also add few spoons of nut powder into that to boost, the calorie intake. So this is the answer for first question. And the second was for eyesight. Yes, we can treat eyesight even it's a cylindrical lens or any kind of disorder like it is from the childhood. So even you have lens above number 1. So diet can help you improve eyesight. So you need to introduce the food which are high in carotene, all the yellow pigmented and orange fruit, and the vegetables like carrot, oranges, pumpkins, papaya. So all those veggies you need to include into the diet, and also the things which spices like pepper, white pepper, black pepper into their curd, into their lassi, chas you can add on. Also increase intake of milk products because they have B vitamins, vitamin A. Vitamin A is also rich, is present in the veggies like leafy greens. So you can add soup stock into the dough. बच्चे ऐसे veggies नहीं खाते हैं, so you can encourage them to eat veggies. उनको choose करने के लिए खुद बुलाएं, like let's help me to cut these veggies. Like अगर मैं pizza बना रही हूँ and I involve my son, like which topping you will choose. So he himself choose, and then when it is done, then he eats so enjoyably because he think it's his labor. He has chosen, those toppings, and he has done the cutting and chopping. So involve your kids into the cooking. And for eyesight, you can also add nuts. Like I told you, walnut and almonds. Both are good for eyesight. So start kids' day with at least 9 almonds. Then you can add or blend it with the milk. At least 9 almonds in a day for eyesight. It's a special remedy. And you can also give nut mixture with the black pepper. Agar kids थोड़े बड़े हैं, they can have that powder with the milk. So इससे eyesight आपका proper ठीक हो जाता है and आपका चश्मा उतर भी जाता है after certain time. अगर इसको आप regular practice करते हैं, post your meal, take nut mixture like almonds, walnut, black pepper, desi kishmish, little mishri. So you can make a mixture out of the nuts. So nuts are wonderfully, workable for the eyesight. And also you can include zinc. As I told you, mushrooms and nuts have zinc. So zinc is very good food for eyesight. And also do eye exercises. You can revolve your eyes. You can splash cold water into eyes and encourage outdoor activities. इससे आपका जो eyesight जो है proper वो blend होता है, improve होता है. If you play outside, आपका focus बनता है, especially the games which involve the small balls like tennis, cricket, इस तरह की चीजें, या फिर chess जिस पे आई फोकस ज्यादा होता है. सो और ब्लू लाइट का एक्सपोजर बच्चों में reduce करना है. So don't give them phone or laptops. So encourage them to play outside.
Thank you so much. I'm sure it has answered not only her queries, but a lot of parents' queries, because we all are exposing them to a lot of screen time. So the eyes is something that we have to look after. There's the second question, which is by a parent of Advit Garg from LKG Pearl. Their question is that I'm a working mother, and how can I give my little one a balanced diet? I have tried so many options, but he would still not eat vegetables. What can I do?
I think we just discussed like involve them in choosing the veggies. Like if you're making loki and you have stock of veggies, so involve your kids. Like baby, what you want to eat? आप क्या खाना चाहते हैं? So let's choose vegetable of your own choice. So this is looking so beautiful. Let's choose ladyfinger today. Let's make loki today. Let's chop together. So this way, kids take interest, like they have done something. So involve them into the cooking. It is also important for the gender equality as well. So अपने बेटी को जरूर इन्वॉल्व करें फॉर द कुकिंग. एंड अदर थिंग, अगर आपको इंट्रोड्यूस करना है, सो यू कैन मेक सम प्लेफुल प्लेटिंग, लाइक एनिमल्स की शेप में थोड़ा बहुत थोड़ी सी आइज बना के या कुछ भी सैलेड्स सर्व कर सकते हैं इन थोड़ा सा टेडी बेयर बना के, या फिर आप उनके सैंडविच में उनको इस तरह से प्लेस करके दैट इट लुक लाइक ए टेडी बेयर, या फिर कुछ ऐसे शेप्स इनकरेज कर सकते हैं, या नोज बना दिया टोमेटो से. सो encourage them to eat कि पहले हम eyes खाएंगे, then nose खाएंगे. So this way, these are certain ways.
Right. So there's another question which I'll take up. Though there are lots of questions, I won't be able to take all of them. I will be posting them to you later on. This is one by Mrs. Charu Khurana. She says, I want to ask, is simple paratha or stuffed paratha good for the child?
Stuffed paratha is always good. It has additional fiber and minerals. So go for stuffed parathas if your kids like potato paratha जो बच्चों को काफी palatable लगता है. So it's the best. Radish paratha, gobi paratha, as per their liking, is the best. Paneer paratha for high protein. The kids are into physical labor, like into any game. So paneer paratha and aloo paratha are the best for the kids.
Right. Thank you so much. And I now hand over to Vice Principal Ma'am, Ms. Sonia Pabbi Ma'am, that if our panelists have any questions for the doctor, over to you.
Thank you, Radhika ma'am. So, Dr. Virendra, my question is, like, as you said, these kids are having a lot of physical efforts to put in. So, how far will you be recommending protein diet? I'm talking about the youngsters ranging from class 10th to 12th, that they are into these protein diets and whey proteins or natural proteins. What is your take out of this?
See, there is no such thing like protein deficiency. So the kids in this age, and the school kids, they need not to have whey protein in their diet. Even they are into sports. But yeah, if they have high intensity exercise, like if they are preparing for some event, then they can have protein in addition to their regular protein. But they need to see, like usually we recommend 1 gram of protein per kg of body weight. But in case of vegetarian kids, sometimes it's not accomplished through the natural resources. Only then they can add whey protein according to their weight again. So for the kids who are into the sports or are athletes, they can have 1.5 gram of protein. And for a normal kid, it's just 1 gram required per 1 kg of the body weight. So only 0.5 gram we can add on more.
Right.
Not more than that, because otherwise they will get issues like metabolic disorders, uric acid, and joint pain or kidney issues in later ages.
Definitely, these are the drawbacks. Like we have the sports, we can say cricket and skating and volleyball and basketball. So for these kinds of sports, you would recommend 1 gram per kg of the weight of
One
the
point,
child, as you
yes,
said.
yes,
Right.
for kids'
Thank you so
weights, yeah,
much. Thank you.
yeah.
Any other member of the panelist if would like to?
I'd request Anita ma'am, since you're an honorable panelist, please ask your query, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Radhika ma'am. And yes, of course, thank you so much, Dr. Virendra, for giving such a beautiful insight and a deep insight to all the lovely parents who are always, anxiously planning the meals of their children. Dr. Virendra, I've been hearing your webinar quite seriously, and I just want to understand, you've been talking about the homemade chawanprash. What is it like? I mean, it's my query as well, and I'm sure most of the parents would also want to know what is homemade chawanprash.
Okay, just like pickles and murabba, तो च्यवनप्राश भी we can make at the home. उसमें herbs आप add on कर सकते हैं. If you see the prescription of the च्यवनप्राश, there are a lot of herbs which are easily available in the dry form. So homemade च्यवनप्राश is always better. बहुत ही easy recipes होती हैं. Just like murabbas, we just need to add all the herbs into the syrup till they are fermented, then blend it together. So this is homemade chawanprash. So just add little preservative जो हमें मिलता है for हम अचार मुरब्बा के लिए sodium benzoate we add, so we can add that much थोड़ा सा वो add on करके, so we can preserve that. So this way we can prevent our kids to get exposed to high sugar, like even people who are on weight loss or are diabetic, they cannot have chawanprash from the market. So उनको क्या मिलता है, usually splenda added या फिर stevia added मिलता है. So this is also again harmful for the heart, like जो artificial sweeteners है. Stevia is still fine. So in that case you can make homemade chawanprash. इसकी recipes आप refer कर सकते हैं. You can get recipes from the YouTube. So many bloggers, food bloggers, they help you making that.
Right. Thank you so much for sharing that beautiful insight. But yes, I'm quite inquisitive to know that is the chawanprash which is available in the market not good or it's not healthy to eat? Like you said, it does contain some kind of sugar.
Yeah, it has too much of sugar. The people who are looking for weight loss, they are tracking calories, or the people who are diabetic, they cannot consume. But for the kids, because they have high digestive system and they have a high metabolic rate, they can have, like जैसे हम खाते थे, we never end up gaining weight. But now at this age, we cannot have that much sugar loaded chawanprash. But and kids who have ADHD or any mental disorder or are hyperactive, they cannot even have that chawanprash because उनको इतना instant sugar देना ही नहीं है. Like for the kids who have hyperactivity disorders or are usually जिनमें already poor focus है, so उनको भी वो chawanprash will not suit.
So I believe that नानी दादी के सारे नुस्खे हमको भी याद कर लेने चाहिए.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Seriously.
Okay.
So we should
So
not
my another
use.
question, ma'am. Another question I have, which I was sharing when you lost your connection, is the colors to be added in the food. So my request to you is if you could elaborate and tell the parents how many colors should be added on a single day in the difference of the meals of a child.
At least seven colors. So we call it rainbow diet for kids. So use all kind of colors in your diet. 7 जो भी rainbow में है. So the human body is all what is outside. Universe में जो है वो बाहर है अंदर है. So rainbow is a presentation of those, and especially ये season जो है rainy season, इसमें तो you need to introduce those colors. सारी तरह की veggies are available in the market. All fruit, all variety of wild varieties टाइम पे मिलती है, because जो wild variety means जो uncultivated होता है, like अरबी and अरबी पत्ता, परवल्स और कचालू, these are uncultivated veggies जिसमें बहुत ज्यादा स्प्रे नहीं होता है. So such kind of things you need to introduce. ये rare होती है, इसी टाइम पे होती है. Small fruits, unit fruits जैसे कि plums, little peach, desi kurmani. So such kind of things. Cherries, unit fruit, जितने भी छोटे fruits हैं. So they also add on extra color during the rainy season.
Thank you so much. I'm sure the parents would have got an insight and a knowledge about adding colors to the tiffin or the meals. Over to you, Radhika ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am, and thank you, dear panelists. Well, there was one more question, but I thought I'll
Mhm.
ask. They want to ask, the parents are asking that can we send lassi for lunch to school? So, I
Okay. So,
no,
chas is integral part of our food. If you want to send, but make sure it is safe to carry. It's not leakable. Otherwise, for calcium, if you're looking for, there are many other options in the diet. So you can share the diet plan that we have made for the kids post this seminar, so that we
definitely
can
I
get
do.
to know.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Virendra Kaur. You have displayed unwavering commitment to this webinar and to the well being of all, and a genuine passion for sharing your knowledge, which is why it's quite evident the way you elaborated and explained to everyone. Your
Thank
ability
you.
to communicate complex concepts in a very clear and a relatable manner has actually made you a very sought after speaker and a trusted resource, I'm sure, in the field of nutrition. So, dear parents, as we come to the close of this enlightening webinar on diet and nutrition, it gives me immense pleasure and gratitude that I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to the esteemed individuals who have made this event possible and profoundly impactful. Firstly, a sincere gratitude to our esteemed principal, Mrs. Gulshan Kaur, for guiding us to conduct this webinar. Your guidance has made this webinar a success, and we are deeply grateful for your support. I would also like to express my deepest gratitude to our distinguished guest speaker, Dr. Virendra Kaur. Despite the technical glitches, your presence and your ability to present and make things accessible and engaging for everyone has enlightened us, empowered us to take charge of our health and take care of our little Bhavanites as well. We are truly grateful for your presence and your valuable insights that you've shared with us. In the same breath, I would also like to thank the contributions of our Vice Principal, Ma'am, Miss Sonia Pabe, our Head Mistress, Ma'am, Miss Anita Ranjan, without whose guidance and support this event would not have been possible. A special note of thanks goes to our dedicated technical team. Behind the scenes, they have worked tirelessly to ensure that this webinar was conducted seamlessly and through managing all those technical glitches and interacting with each one and making sure that we could actually telecast what we really wanted to. Their expertise and professionalism has been invaluable in making this virtual event a success. Furthermore, I extend my thanks to all parents who have joined us from various corners of the city. Your thoughtful questions, your eagerness to learn have definitely made this webinar a dynamic and enriching one. Your presence here has reinforced the importance of promoting health awareness and fostering a culture of well being within our community. Thank you all for being a part of this enriching journey, and we look forward to future opportunities to learn and grow together. Wish everyone good health and prosperity ahead. Thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful day.